another day of online circle time. I hope that you guys had a really great Tuesday. I'm glad that you're back here with me. Let's get started. So first we're all going to stand up and we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance together. All right. You put your hand on your heart and we say, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You guys can sit back down. Today, let's sing our Buenos Dias song, okay? We're going to try to sing it in 3 languages. The first in Spanish, the second is in French, and the third we're going to do in English. And then maybe later this week we can try to add German onto that like we tried. All right, so let's get started. 1, 2, 3. Buenos dias a ti. Buenos dias a ti. Buenos dias, mis amigos. Buenos dias a ti. Bon matin à vous. Bon matin à vous. Bon matin, mes amis. Bon matin à vous. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning, my friends. Good morning to you. Good morning, everybody. I hope that you guys are having a really great morning today. Let's get our calendar going. Okay, so it is March. Yesterday we marched for March. Today we are going to stomp our feet. Let's try to wake up all those worms that are coming out of the ground, okay? So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Good job, guys. And now to sing our Days of the Week song. Today, we are going to do our silly kooky clap song, okay? And I'm going to help you. I'm going to put this guy down. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Days of the week. 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 There's Sunday and there's Monday. Tuesday and there's Wednesday. Thursday and there's Friday. And then there's Saturday. Days of the week. 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 Now, I forgot to change the orange arrow, so let's do that together. Where did I just put the arrow onto? Which day is that? Wednesday! Great job, guys. It is hump day, middle of our week. Okay, and if we were to say that in French, it would be mercredi. Très bien. Aujourd'hui, c'est mercredi. All right. Now let's do the weather. Again, I don't know what the weather looks like for you guys today. It could be snowing. There could be rainbows in the sky. Who knows? So what I want you to do right now is to go to a window, look out the window, and see what you can find. All right. Hope we figured that out. So, time to do our weather song. I'm going to help you sing it, and I'm going to hum at the end so that you can fill in the words. 1, 2, 3. Weather, weather, what is the weather? Good job! Again, I hope it's a really nice and sunny day for you guys to play outside today. All right, now let's get to story time. Our story today is Little Red Riding Hood. We are still talking about fairy tales. This is one of my favorite fairy tales, and I think we all know the story of this one. So here we go. Once upon a time, there was a sweet little maiden who was loved by all who knew her. She was especially dear to her grandmother, who did not know how to make enough of the child. Once she gave her a little red velvet cloak. It was so becoming and she liked it so much that she would never wear anything else. So she got the name of Little Red Riding Hood. day her mother said to her, "Come here, Little Red Riding Hood. Take this cake and bottle of wine to grandmother. She is weak and ill, and they will do her good. Go quickly before it gets too hot. Don't loiter along the way, nor run, or you will fall and break the bottle, and there will be no wine for grandmother. When you get there, don't forget to say good morning prettily, without staring about you." "I will do just as you tell me," Little Red Riding Hood promised her mother. Her grandmother lived away in the wood, a good half-hour from the village. When she got to the wood, she met a wolf. But Little Red Riding Hood did not know what a wicked animal he was, so she was not a bit afraid of him. "Good morning, Little Red Riding Hood," he said. "Good morning, Wolf," she answered. "Whither away so early, Little Red Riding Hood?" "To grandmother's." "What have you got in your basket?" "Cake and wine. We baked yesterday, so I'm taking a cake to her. She wants something to make her well." "Where does your grandmother live, Little Red Riding Hood?" "A good quarter of an hour farther into the wood. Her house stands under three big oak trees near a hedge of nut trees, which you must know," said Little Red Riding Hood. The wolf thought, "This tender little creature will be a plump morsel. She will be nicer than that old woman. I must be cunning and snap them both up." He walked along with Little Red Riding Hood for a while. Then he said, "Look at the pretty flowers, Little Red Riding Hood. Why don't you look about you? I don't believe you've even heard the birds singing. You are as solemn as if you were going to school. All else is so gay out here in the woods." Little Red Riding Hood raised her eyes, and when she saw the sunlight dancing through the trees and all the bright flowers, she thought, "I'm sure grandmother would be pleased if I took her a bunch of fresh flowers. It is still quite early. I shall have plenty of time to pick them." So she left the path and wandered off among the trees to pick the flowers. Each time she picked one, she always saw another prettier one farther on, so she went deeper and deeper into the forest. In the meantime, the wolf went straight off to the grandmother's cottage, who knocked on the door. "Who is there?" "Little Red Riding Hood, bringing you a cake and some wine." "Open the door." "Lift the latch," called out the old woman. "I am too weak to get up." The wolf lifted the latch, and the door sprang open. He went straight in and up to the bed without saying a word, and ate up the poor woman. Then he put on her nightdress and cap, got into the bed, and drew up the curtains. Little Red Riding Hood picked flowers till she could carry no more. Then she remembered her grandmother again. She was astonished when she got to the house to find the door open, and when she entered the room, everything seemed strange. She felt quite frightened, but she did not know why. "Generally, I like coming to see grandmother so much," she thought. "Good morning, grandmother," she cried, but she received no answer. Then she went up to the bed and drew the curtains back. There lay her grandmother, but she had drawn her cap down over her face and looked very odd. "Oh, grandmother, what big ears you have," she said. "The better to hear you with, my dear." "Grandmother, what big eyes you have." "The better to see you with, my dear." "What big hands you have, grandmother." "The better to catch hold of you with, my dear." "But grandmother, what big teeth you have." "The better to eat you with, my dear." Hardly had the wolf said this when he made a spring out of bed and swallowed poor Little Red Riding Hood. A huntsman went out past the house and thought, "How loudly the old lady is snoring. I must see if there is anything the matter with her." So he went into the house and up to the bed, where he found the wolf was fast asleep. "Do I find you here, old sinner?" he said. "Long enough have I sought you." He raised his gun to shoot when it just occurred to him that perhaps the wolf had eaten up the old lady and that she might still be saved. So he pulled the sleeping wolf's mouth wide open. The first thing he saw was the little red cloak. The little girl sprang out and cried, "Oh, how frightened I was! It was so grandmother came alive, but hardly able to breathe. The wolf awoke and tried to spring up, but he was so frightened by the sight of the hunter that he fell down dead. They were all quite happy now. The huntsman took the dead wolf home. The grandmother ate the cake and drank the wine that Little Red Riding Hood had brought, and she soon felt quite strong. Little Red Riding Hood thought to herself, I will never again wander off into the forest as long as I live when my mother forbids it. The end. Well, Little Red Riding Hood now knows that she should definitely be listening to her mom when her mom says not to go somewhere. So your question of the day today is, if you were sick, what would you want someone to bring you? So the granny wanted wine and a cake. I know me personally, I would probably want some Twizzlers and some popcorn. It all kind of depends. So think about what you would want if you were sick. What are 2 awesome things that you would need to help you feel better? It could be a hug, it could be a story, it could be cheesy popcorn, it could be a lollipop, whatever you think. And then today, I want you to either call your grandparents or write them a letter. Ask them how they're doing. And make sure that you tell them that you love them and you miss them. And you guys ask how everything is going for them. All right, and we have other activities that are planned that are on the email sent to your mom and dad. So I hope you guys have a really wonderful Wednesday. I hope that the sun is shining for you and you guys get to go outside for a little bit. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.